Monday quarterback review of the weekend. So I ain't going to lie. One thing we're going to tell you, we're going to be straight up with you. If we have a great week, if we have a bad week, if I personally have a good or bad week, I'm going to let you know. I'm fully transparent here, right? So last week was awful because the worst thing you can do is just barely miss the cash line. I had so many lineups. I was 152 points to 145 points, just barely off missing the cash line. The guy, if you saw my running back pick of the week, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, was all over him in literally pretty much every lineup. He was a dud, 11 points. He actually wasn't a dud. He had a receiving touchdown called back from a pick play. First off, these pick plays never get called back, ever. Granted, Kelsey, I believe it was, did a pretty bad job of just running through. There was no reason for him to get a full actual pick on the guy. So I understand the play, but that touchdown got called back, which was huge. And then the Raiders-Chiefs game, I was all over that game, like 100% in, right? Not 100%. I was all over that game, and then I was all over at the Teddy Bridgewater stack, which paid off. And the Chiefs stack should have paid off 100 times over. Beginning of the game, Patrick Mahomes. I had Patrick Mahomes. I had Hill. I had CEH. First play of the game or third play of the game. Bang! 60-yard bomb. Mahomes to Hill. Called back for holding. So those were 2 touchdowns, 2 huge plays that would have taken me from 150 to probably 165 points easily in the cash line. And when you play in these single entry $100 contests and you barely miss that cash, it hurts. It stings. So is what it is. Overall, had I feel like a lot of good picks. Towards the end of the week, I was like, man, the trap of the week, the 3K minimum price, Zakuzi, whatever. I don't even know how to say the guy's name from the Falcons. The week before, he had a bunch of targets with Julio. Julio going out in the game. Ridley, I only think, was playing like 50% of the snaps. He went in the slot and took all of Gage's targets and went off. So towards the end of the week, I was like, you know what? I think this is trap. And I was like, you know what? Everyone's going to be on the min Zakuzi guy, right? Min price 3K. Gage is the play. Gage is the next level play. So at the very end, I swapped out and switched up my lineups for Gage, who gave us 3 fantasy points, I believe. 3. I was like, he has 22 targets over the last couple of weeks before the concussion, and that was with Julio and with Calvin Ridley in the lineup. He's going to smash. Dud. So that killed me. We were right, and my thinking was right. I still think I was wrong on that. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick, sorry, my bad, I guess, right? I thought it was going to pay off. I feel like it should have paid off. But I'm going to share with you my screen here because I want to show you one of those $100 lineups with I'm like right there at caching and kind of just go over the lineup construction and see what all we think about the lineup, where I went right and where I went wrong and where we can improve on next week. And I would love in the comment section below for you to let me know what do you think of the lineup and what could have I done differently. All right, here we go. We are sharing the screen here. All right. So let's go to the details right here. As you can see, we finished at 150.7 points, which just sucks because it looks like cashing 158, maybe a little bit less than that. So the details, it was the single entry, $100, and I was looking to make some money. So let's go to our entry, 150 points, right? So we stacked, like I said. This game, actually, I did not stack. This lineup, I did not stack CEH with Mahomes and Hill. I was like, you know what? Let's just not do that. Maybe it's just a passing explosion. The first half of that game, the first almost half of the game, both teams back and forth. The one thing I could not do and get on board was actually putting in Ruggs on running it back with Ruggs. I love to stack a quarterback wide receiver and then run it back with one of the top fantasy spots for the opposing team. Like last week, the week before, I had the perfect stack. But what did I do? I screwed up all the other secondary pieces. I had Dak, RIP, man, right? Dak, man, I hope you get better. Want you hate or love the Cowboys, that man is a warrior out there. because Dak, Cooper, and then I ran it back with OBJ. I should have also added in there Lamb, but either way, you get the gist, right? Cooper, Dak, and then run it back with OBJ. So this week I had Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and then did I run it back? No, this lineup I ended up not running it back, but a lot of lineups I ended up running it back with a Waller, which I should have done either. Waller didn't do too much, 15 points, but Ruggs, I mean, only 2 catches, but for like 120 yards and a couple TDs, I believe. So that would have been ideal. But overall, this lineup, I still like it, right? The Gage pick, 5% owned, 5%, only gave us 3 points before his concussion, had 22 targets. I was with Julio and Calvin. So I felt pretty comfortable pivoting to Gage, which meant actually I had to get off Waller because I had the min-priced other Falcons receiver. It starts with a Z. Don't know how to say his name. I don't want to know how to say his name either. Slayton, he was chalky, right? 36% owned, but 4,800 going against the Cowboys in an ideal game script and also a great scenario against a terrible Cowboys defense was the right play. You can have some chalk. You just have to differentiate yourself elsewhere. And so he came through 24 points. He could have easily had, I think he had a touchdown called back as well. He could have easily had a bigger game. Zeke had a pretty good game. You would have liked to see a little bit more out of Zeke. I was hoping to get 30 points from him. The Giants D, well, good call, right? These min-price defenses. I didn't like them, and I talked all week not liking them. But sometimes you just fall in the spots where, you know what, I would rather have a min-price D and hope they just give me some points and have a Zeke as opposed to a cheaper flex that I'm not as comfortable with. And so that's what I went with this route. And for the most part, I feel like it paid off. Like, so these 4 bottom players, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at any of this right there, right? The biggest thing was Hill. I needed him to catch that when he caught that bomb. I needed that to count. Him and Patrick Mahomes, for his price, 34 points, paid off. Kareem Hunt, he did okay. I'm not mad. 18 points. Gibson was disappointing, and I fell for the Gibson trap. But after that week 1, I thought he was going to do a good job. He was pretty chalky, 20% owned there. But overall, this lineup, like I feel like it's still, when I look back at this lineup, I'm like, man, I think I made a lot of good plays, but apparently I didn't. So it is what it is. But I wanted to kind of go over there. Let's just go over also the winning lineup here. Let's see what the winning line. All right, Teddy Bridgewater, who we recommended in our cash, where we show you the whole cash lineup. We recommended Teddy Bridgewater, which should have been recommended. And he did good. 23 points, though. Patrick Mahomes outdid him there. Mike Davis, that's the killer at 46% owned. He has just killed me week after week. He runs like a 4.65 40, and he's 28 years old. I haven't believed in him. And he's burned me for 3 straight weeks. And he is so highly owned that it really hurts. This is the one play this year that if I could take it back and just have got on that Mike Davis train, I believe I would have cashed this week. Couldn't do it. Didn't do it. And it came back to haunt me. Even at 6,400, he's still getting a little pricey, but we both had Gibson, the winning lineup for 100K. Anderson, I had him in a lot of lineups. I did not have him in this lineup. 22 points, did good. Crowder, that's something that I honestly didn't really think about. I probably could have, but I'm not mad at that. Claypool, like, come on. 0.7% Claypool. Of course, the winning lineup is going to have it. And that's the variance where we were all over in our cash lineup as well. We had Teddy Bridgewater. We had Anderson or DJ Moore. And then we had Johnson, right? The Steelers receiver who, once again, he got a concussion, I believe, on a punt return. Came back to kill us, where Claypool took all touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns. I feel like all those should have been to Johnson, and our cash lineup could have had a chance to literally win a tournament. I'm not even joking. All right. Kittle, he had Kittle. What a disappointment Kittle was. Kittle killed me too. My other lineups that I did not cash, that I was like 146 points, I had Kittle, and he killed me. Man, this guy cashed with Kittle and Gibson, right? Dang, man. He went double tight end. You know, we talked about that a little bit this week. Double tight end was not a bad move, especially where these tight ends are priced. Not a bad move, and it paid off. 26 points with the Ravens defense. My goodness. So he had 3 really good plays. But and that's what it takes to win 100K. But I still feel like when I go against my lineup and his lineup, bro, I'm not. I mean, Claypool could have done exactly what Gage did, and easily. You know, good for him. Bravo to him. But I mean, I thought the Ravens defense is not a bad play, but they've had the last 2 weeks quarterbacks throw for over 300 yards a piece, and Joey Burrow just laid an egg. Won this guy 100K though. Won this guy 100K. So good for him. Good for him. That's all I got for you for this week. That's kind of the Monday wrap up of the week. Let me know how y'all did in the comment section below. Go check us out, the DFS Stats. We win together, we lose together. The toughest losses are when you get in these single entries and you spend a lot of money on these single entries and you just barely miss the cash line. Like, just barely missed the cash line. Oh, well, that's kind of where I went right and wrong this week. Wanted to show you a lineup. Hope you guys got some benefit out of this. And let's move on to the next week.